If you were going to give advice to somebody who is currently in their sport right now and they're facing what is likely to be the end of this part of their life, how would you guide them to prepare for that? Or what would you say that they need to start doing or exploring? Like maybe it's the childhood, the things that they liked in their childhood, but how would you get somebody going?
Well, I would say, since I'm not going to be working with them directly in a class or anything like that, I'd say number one, get your support network really solid. Find, who are those 8 to 12 people that you really trust, who you really feel safe with, who you know are ride or die friends. I would say get them together, because the research shows when an athlete transitions out of their sport, they lose not only their identity, but they also lose their support network. And I remember personally for myself, I think I have only 4 friends out of, 100 and some odd guys. Or even the schools are really small. It was only 800, but even out of those 800 people, there's only 4 guys or 4 people that I'm still connected to. So, really get solid with those people and say, hey, can we please still connect after we're done with this experience and we've graduated and we moved on. And, maintain be disciplined, call them every couple weeks, see how they're doing. The nice part about being done with college is sometimes you have some time on your hands. So maybe make a road trip. Those types of trips are invaluable. So I would say that piece first, support network. Who are they? Next is you got to find some other things that you love to do. Otherwise you are going to go a little cuckoo. Because you're going to have so much boredom. And what we do with our boredom now is Netflix and social media, which has its own effects. So actually having some strategies to manage your stress, to, that you can, something you can progress in, something you can build upon and get to somewhere, is, I think, also going to be valuable, because it's going to, instead of sitting down at night and feeling lonely and feeling depressed and anxious because you don't have any friends around, you pick up, you have, say you're into knitting or you're into fly tying, you have those things that you can engage in those times of depression, boredom, loneliness, whatever your feelings are, that's going to help you stay distracted. That's going to help you maybe work through your feelings, work through your thoughts, and try to get through the storm that you're experiencing. So I would say those 2 areas by far.
Do you think having some kind of a goal or achievement associated with that hobby that you pick up is important to have?
Definitely. Yeah. So let me is it okay if I kind of jump into some backstory here?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it'll add a little bit more substance to maybe why I'm kind of approaching it in this manner.
Yeah.
So when I graduated within 3 days, I had graduated from college, I had retired from my sport, and I think it was within the first week, my partner at the time had ended our relationship. And I had made a geographical move to another place.
Man.
So everything that I had was basically ripped up. And I jumped into my hometown where my family was. And I had my family there and whatnot, but it was still this huge shock to my system. And I was feeling very depressed. I was drinking alcohol. I was staying inside all day, unmotivated, staying in bed, and just felt like absolute crap. And I was extremely depressed. And I was with a friend at the same time, my buddy David Coolin. He had just moved back from Arizona. He went to U of A and was a D1 pitcher out there. And we just started playing catch, and just having that social relationship with him and just playing catch, like it let me at least be able to connect with somebody while I was still experiencing all this stuff. And that lasted for about a year. And it was tough. I was alone in my family's ranch house out in 20 acres. I was just down. I was substitute teaching, but not often. So I was just stuck in this house out in the middle of the country, and it was awful. It's kind of like the dark ages, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until I realized that I kind of needed to change things. I needed to switch some things up, and really the only thing that really helped at the time was waking up and going to the library. Like, I wasn't at home, but I was in this place where there are these books, and I can at least try to gain some knowledge from them and try to progress myself in some way. So I would do that for a little while, and then I started substitute teaching. And then I found my journal. I found writing in a journal, painting, and playing music on the guitar. And I just kind of worked with these three strategies when I wasn't teaching or wasn't coaching baseball. I coached some baseball for a while too, just to stay connected to the sport. Still a stage of denial. And so it wasn't until I found these painting, writing, and playing music that all of a sudden that sort of heaviness, this was 2 years later, had sort of been lifted. I was like, oh, how did that happen? What took place there? And it was because I wasn't relying anymore on, like, my focus and my passion and my purpose and my meaning wasn't so much focused on sports anymore. It was on my self-reflection, my music, the things I was creating. There was something there that allowed me to kind of move out of this place. And I found it in other friends too when they created a family. Maybe they weren't in a good place, but as soon as they had a family, it was like they had this new meaning, they had this new purpose. And then and again, I talked to others and what they were doing, and sort of found out that being creative, having different tools, different strategies, engaging in different things was a way to help yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of why that piece is in the class, is because that was the only thing that saved me and got me through a tough time, and I found that was what had helped others too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how that came in.